The weeks are flying by like days as we are set for round 2 of the Six Nations. So let's dig straight in, take a look at the winners from round 1 in fantasy, and take a look forward to what we're going to bring to the second round of the Six Nations as we strive to be the number 1 team in Six Nations fantasy for 2024. Let's do it. And of course, do not forget we will be streaming watch parties this weekend again for the 2 opening matches between France and Scotland, England and Wales, and of course it's Super Bowl Monday as well, so do not forget to come join us for those live on Twitch. Come say hi, join in of the banter, and enjoy the rugby with us this weekend. Link down below. What is going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back along, of course, your home of rugby, where we are looking for our Six Nations team to pick in round number 2. Now, this was a little bit annoying because it's a little bit later than last weekend because Ireland and Italy decided, we're going to play a late game and we're going to announce our team super late. So we had to wait because a lot was riding on the team that the Irish have selected for this weekend's matches. We've selected our side, and here is the results from round number 1. So looking at the leaderboard in the league we are in, if you want to join in, there will be a link in the description if you want to come in late and try and steal the thunder away from a very hot starting Gildo at the very, very top. But I tell you what, it's been a tense and a seesawing battle in this leaderboard so far this season. Gildo's at the top with 393 points, almost cracking that 400 from the opening weekend. Rich picked up number 2, and well done, Bears. He's got himself into the number 3 spot. Now I've got a target. Now I've got something to aim for. Otherwise, the rest of us, well, we piled on down from there. I picked up 337 from the weekend, which finished me down in 11th for the league, but that's all right. There's still another 4 rounds to play, so I'm more than confident of taking out some of those chumps in the top spot. A little bit of a look at what the leader for the round did pick up in round number 1. Here's a look at what the team that he did pick. Grabbing Finn Russell as his captain was a good call. Most people struggle to get front rowers with good points, but there was good points out there for those front 3, so keep that in mind in the future rounds. But you can see nothing fantastic, but consistency throughout. Guys like Todd Barron, very good pickup in round number 1. Freeman as well from England was one definitely worth having on your team. So you can see straight through there a couple of little different selection issues, and this guy's gone from being an average team like ours to the very, very top of the leaderboard. So this is how my team wrapped up for round number 1. Captaining Duhan van der Merwe was absolutely critical for my team doing any good throughout the opening weekend of the competition. Also had Finn Russell, picked up a good amount of points, but struggled a little bit with the scrum half. Gareth Davis didn't get the points return that I would have liked in my front row. Like I talked about, a little bit wishy-washy, not really what I would have liked from those guys. The back row, good. Aldred, fantastic. Earl was good as well. Russell did well. Midfield, a little bit disappointing, as well as James Lowe and Damien Pinot didn't rack up the points that I would have liked from my big point scorers in the back. But don't worry, round 2 is another chance to pick up some lost points and to make our way up that leaderboard. Now we've got a target to aim for, right? Let's go. So I haven't gone running out making wholesale changes for round number 2. But the thing is, with Ireland playing Italy this weekend, their team has undergone, well, a number of changes for themselves. So this weekend we've got Scotland versus France, we've got England versus Wales, and then finally on the Sunday/Monday for me, we have the Irish versus the Italians. Now the Irish have named a bit of a change to their team, whereas the other sides like England have made no changes whatsoever. So from that we can gauge how we are going to line up our next team. For me, I wanted to go as many Irishmen as I possibly could because they're surely going to put up some decent points against the Italians. On the flip side of that, not so many Italians in the team this weekend because of, I think, the way that game is going to go. Scotland and France, boy oh boy, that is going to be hopefully a cracking matchup that could see it go either way, and both sides have standout performers on their team. For England and Wales, I feel this is going to be a really different challenge for the Welsh. The English, though, are going to be well set in their game plan. We saw what they did in round 1. I think we're going to see exactly the same from them in round 2. The question is, can Wales do a better first half they did against Scotland? And can they actually get the continuity that they got in that second half against Scotland? Can they do that against England? in the full 80 minutes. I think this is a bit of a banana skin game for England. I think structurally wise, they should be the better team. But the way Wales played in their second half, I think on their day, they can really put it up to anyone in this competition. So I've gone with a little bit of a mixture between those teams as well going through this second round. And Scotland and France, well, you've just got to take the stars, hope and pray that they do really, really well. So here's my team for round number 2. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments as we do every single week. The back 3, I have not changed whatsoever. Keeping the faith in Damien Penaud, James Lowe, and Duhan van der Merwe. Now, hopefully, we see a little bit more from especially James Lowe, who really was just a long ball kicker in the opening round game against the French. Didn't really get many attacking chances, didn't get any real line breaks or opportunities, so hopefully we see a bit more from him against the Italians. Van der Merwe, Penaud, I mean, geez, someone's got to stand out from those two players, right? Two teams, will they play attacking? Will they play territory? Will they try to turn Van der Merwe? Will they try and play the ball away from a Penaud? This game is very, very intriguing. Hopefully, one or two of those guys have a cracking matchup out on the wings. Changes in midfield, no Bundy Aki for Ireland, so I've tried to stick it with the Irish, and I've gone for Robbie Henshaw instead into that middle of the midfield. He's partnering up with Tui Pilotu, who I've kept from Scotland. Not groundbreaking in the opening round, but boy oh boy, not a huge amount of standout midfielders to really pick from this competition. I mean, you're not going to pick an Englishman because they're not going to see much ball. You're not really going to probably go off an Italian because, again, I think they're going to struggle throughout this game. Scotland and France, again, I've probably committed too many of their players already throughout these lineups to go too much more. Gal Fiku, a player like that, I really seriously looked at. But then, of course, you're limited to only 4 players per nation. So that's where you've got to go. Do I go for an extra Frenchman there? Do I go for an extra Frenchman in the forward pack? And then you always got to think about that super sub as well. So going away from that, I thought let's go with another Irishman, back them to do well in that midfield against the Italians. And again, hopefully we get a little bit of a long shot standout in Robbie Henshaw. In the halves, a little bit of a change here. No Gareth Davis starting. Surprise, surprise. Thomas Williams after that first half, second half performance from those two number 9s. That has been Thomas Williams starting in that number 9 scrum half jersey. Finn Russell stays, and Finn Russell also captains because I think he could be a pivotal part of any Scottish chance to do something well this weekend. Moving into the forwards, we've gone with, well, just the one change in the back row. And this was really tough because I thought we had a lot of standouts, especially from the Welsh in the back row. Very easy it would have been to go with a guy like Aaron Wainwright, but I've gone with the more consistent of Tommy Rafell to take that back row spot alongside Ben Earl and Gregory Aldred at 6, 7, and 8. Into the second row, we had to make a change here as well. I just felt like we needed to go with something a bit more powerful. I wanted to go with Tide Byrne, but he's been left out of the Irish team as well. So instead, we've gone with McCarthy, who again, man of the match in the opening round, was very, very strong. I don't think he was probably the best performer. I thought guys like Byrne had a better matchup, but hey, who am I to argue with the pros? He sits alongside Ollie Chisholm, who keeps his spot in that second row. I wanted to stick with Malvaka in the front row at hooker, but just the way that the names and numbers kind of fell, I had to make a bit of a change there, moving away from Porter in the front row at prop, moving Dan Sheehan in to the middle at hooker. Again, Italy, who's going to get you more points, a Porter or a Sheehan in the middle, who was extremely good in that opening round game against the French. We've kept Will Stewart on the other prop, and instead of that, we've brought in a Scotsman to go alongside Pierre Schoeman. Again, outstanding in that opening match against Wales. We've kept him back in the lineup, starting on one of the propping sides for this team. So there we go. There's the starting 15. You see Finn Russell is the captain. And of course, we've got to go with our super sub as well, which coming down to here will be Kieran Hardy. Now, I see you going, whoa, that's a bizarre call coming from the Welsh, but let's be honest here. I don't think they are going to, again, if things aren't going their way versus England, and we saw it against Scotland, there was wholesale changes right on half-time. Gareth Davis, who I had my starting scrum half, went off on the 40-minute mark, and again, this could be something similar. I don't think Thomas Williams will play more than 50, 60 at the very, very most, the way that Gatland was rotating that team. Sure, things weren't working, but let's be honest, are they going to be working in that first half against England? I'd struggle to see that the case as well. So I think Hardy's going to come on, and I think he's going to have a bit of an impact as well. Looking for more of that second half Welsh comeback from them this weekend as well. But again, it's hard to pick. A lot of teams didn't go to the bench early last weekend, especially in those front rows. Theo Dan, my super sub in round 1, only got less than 10 minutes in that opening matchup. A lot of key players. Callagher is one I've seen a lot of people picking up, the Irish hooker, to make an impact as well. And I guess you will see Sheehan come off probably quite early against the Italians, provided things are going well for Ireland. But I'm going with Williams and Hardy as my two number 9. So I'm kind of hedging my bets here that no matter what, I'm going to have 80 minutes of a Welsh number 9. Smart? Dumb? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below what you think about the super sub idea there of going with the 2 replacement players of each other. So we're going to have Thomas Williams starting, Kieran Hardy off the bench. Bang, bang, you're going to cover your bases. That is the team for round 2 of the Six Nations. What is your team for this round? Leave it on the comment section below, or of course you can join us on Discord, link in the description. You can join up and have some good rugby chat with everyone else on there already. We've got literally pictures coming out the nose of everyone's fantasy sides for each week and every round. So come and join us on there and talk about all things rugby, gaming, and just whatever hell you want to talk about. That's what we do there, so come and join in. That is it from me today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Hope you enjoyed the little fantasy action. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks where we do it all again. Of course, week off. So let's go. I'll see you for round 3. Good luck this weekend and enjoy the rugby. Take care.